in life, and one should learn from small things. One should listen to your elders' advice, not because they're always right, but because they have more experience of being wrong.
Through the experience and guidance of our seniors, building our best career is very much possible. Now it's time to have an interaction session with the students who are preparing or having doubts regarding the start of preparation of UPSC exams.
So now I'd like to hand over mic to John sir. And I request audience, if you have any queries, you can raise your hands and ask question at the end of the session.
Prelims, mains, interview and optional, so that many students will be benefited, because it's a great opportunity that both of you have come here. When we speak about prelims exam, right now we know that it has become more dicey, and people feel that it's highly becoming unpredictable. So, and also, like Prahlad sir, you have gone through the prelims and you were able, like 3 times you failed. Then what are the changes you made? Because this time sir has cleared with IFS cutoff, which is very high cutoff. So what is the strategy, sir, you did for prelims?
हेलो, तो जो मेरा फर्स्ट प्रीलिम्स था उसमें मैंने सीसेट क्लियर किया था, लेकिन जीएस में मेरा कट ऑफ जो था वो क्लियर नहीं हुआ था। जो सेकेंड एंड थर्ड जो अटेम्प्ट था उसमें मेरा सीसेट के कारण रहा। एक्चुअल में क्या होता है कि हम सीसेट को बहुत हल्के में लेते हैं, या फिर हम सोचते हैं कि जैसे अगर किसी का 12th में मैथ्स बैकग्राउंड रहा है तो हम सोचते हैं कि उतना मैथ आता है, रीजनिंग और मैथ्स हम करके और इजीली क्वालिफाई कर लेंगे सीसेट में। लेकिन अभी प्रेजेंट में क्या हो रहा है, अगर आप पेपर को एनालाइज करोगे तो बहुत सारे जो एनआईटी से पढ़े हुए हैं, बहुत सारे मैथ बैकग्राउंड के हैं, इवन दो आईआईटीएन, उनको भी डिफिकल्टी फेस हो रही है सीसेट को क्लियर करने में। तो इसलिए फर्स्ट आपको ये याद रखना है कि जीएस तो आपको प्रिपेयर करना ही है, जीएस की भी हम स्ट्रेटजी की बात करेंगे, लेकिन सीसेट में रीजनिंग, मैथ्स एंड जो कॉम्प्रिहेंशन है, जो पैसेज है, तीनों पे आपकी अच्छी से कमांड होनी चाहिए। अगर आप सोच के जाओगे एग्जाम में कि 2 में मैं कमांड कर लूँ, मैथ में कर लूँ, या रीजनिंग अगर मेरी बहुत अच्छी है तो मेरा हो जाएगा, ऐसा चांसेस बहुत कम है। प्रेजेंट में आपको तीनों पे बेहतर कमांड करनी है, और तीनों में जो एक सिंपल क्वेश्चंस हैं उनको आप अप्रोच करके जो सीसेट है उसको इजीली क्लियर कर सकते हो। अगर आप इस बार का मैथमेटिक्स का जो मैथ का पेपर देखोगे तो काफी टफ था। जो प्योर जो मैथमेटिक्स के बैकग्राउंड के जो स्टूडेंट थे उनको भी काफी ज्यादा डिफिकल्टी। ओके, सो in present day UPSC CSET paper day by day more difficult. Reason is there because UPSC wants more good students, good aspirants, and they can feel and they can sustain in more pressure, because when we hold more important posts in as an administrator, there are so many difficulties, so many challenges. So how can UPSC analyze that qualities? So in CSET paper, UPSC analyzed by the students, aspirants in more difficulty level, in more challenging number of questions. So in that situation, in that pressure, if a student can handle within 2 hours time duration, then UPSC can analyze that aspirant can handle same type situation, same type pressure in ground level. So you should focus in 3 areas. With same focus, with same efficiency, with same energy in mathematics, in reasoning, and in passage. So you should focus in 3, and also solve so many question papers, previous question paper if we take example of CSET, how we can make our strategy in CSET paper. You take papers from 2013 to 2021 and solve these papers multiple times. Don't solve the papers of different coaching institutions. My personal advice to all my dear friends, you solve the previous paper, CSET paper, multiple times and analyze what the strategy, what the philosophy of the UPSC behind these papers, what the reasons to asking such type questions by the UPSC. And when you solve again and again, then you realize particular topic, and after then you can command particular on that topic, and you feel after solving these papers that same topic asking by the UPSC again and again. If we take example like profit and loss and time and work, average, these type question, these type topics. So you analyze which topics asking again and again in examination. First, second in passage, what type approach should we have to solve that passage, and analyze with the answer key of the UPSC, not take the answer key of the different institutions. You take answer key of the UPSC. First you solve the paper, passage, and especially the difficulty level in assumptions is more in UPSC passage. So first you solve, and after then match or analyze why UPSC put this particular answer and why I am wrong on this particular assumption, and after then you analyze that what type our strategy should be for the solve this particular assumption questions in CSET. In reasoning, some topics very important in reasoning, so you analyze and make the priority list. Which topic we will cover first. If time allow, then you should go on further topics, but you make priority list that these are simple topics I can cover easily. Then you cover first that topics, and after then you go further on further topics. And in GS, first you cover static part, like we take the example of polity. So in polity, Lakshmikant, you know very well, static topics in they have. So around, if UPSC will ask around 20 questions in polity, that is around 20 questions from statics, and 10 questions, some part 1 or 2 line or 1 or 2 points about static, 1 point from the current affairs. What type topics and what issues going on in current affairs, in polity, some bills, some acts, some amendment bills, some particular issues in society, particular on political debates. So you analyze that topics, and after then you also focus on that particular topic in Lakshmikant. If anti-defection law is debatable in some states, then it is important, and I think this year also one question in prelims asked from anti-defection law. So what type and what issues going on in polity, focus on that point, and also memorize and also analyze and also cover that topic from the static part. Static part, current part, and you know very well that UPSC also select Indian Forest Service from with prelims also. Both the examinations simultaneously taken by the UPSC. So environment also important. So in environment, current part and static part, around 20 questions is very important. So you analyze the papers, previous papers, what the ratios from the different subjects. First you prioritize the topics, which topic from which topics UPSC asking again the questions, and prioritize the list which subjects more important, how to cover from and what the importance of the NCERT, when, how do you analyze? You analyze after the analyze of the previous year question papers. So syllabus and previous year question paper is very important to determine, to analyze and prioritize your list and to make your strategy.
Regarding the film strategies as suggested, can you please add some more which you think?
Yes, surely. Prahlad sir has did a very comprehensive analysis, but I would just like to add few more points to that from my side also. See, the cutoff is going on the lower side from last few years. It's hovering around 90s, 87, 88, 90s then. So UPSC doesn't want you to attend all the 100 questions or all the 80 questions, and not even more than 50 questions they don't want. They just want that if you know exactly around 45 questions net, then you will be able to write your mains examination. So for choosing or for prioritizing those 45 to 50 questions or maybe 60 questions, we have to focus on some important subjects, and which can be mentioned in the form of that polity, then economics, then environment, then some of the history plus science and tech also. We can guess about 8 to 10 questions from these two subjects we can attempt from these two subjects. So when we combine about questions from these 4 to 5 subjects, then we are able to attempt around 40 to 50 questions, and that is all needed for the clearing the prelims cutoff from the GS point of view. Then coming to the CSET. CSET is going a bit tricky, not saying bit tricky, actually more tricky. Sometimes they are focusing more on comprehensions, sometimes they are focusing more on quant. So just like sir said that we have to be quite more attention, we have to pay more attention towards all of the 3 subjects, comprehensions as well as quant as well as the reasoning. For covering such topics, we should analyze the previous year question papers and just follow 1 or 2 sources. Don't go for the material collector actually, as there is one popular YouTuber teacher, Rahul sir. He says that you have to be the district collector and not the material collector. So just religiously follow 1 or 2 sources. Do attempt those one. Do attempt previous year question papers. Follow the strategy of construct, deconstruct, and then construct. First, make your own point of view regarding the attention of question. Then see that where you went wrong. That's the part that forms the deconstruct part. And when you find that yes, at this point I went wrong, then again make a different point of view, so that you will not attempt that different, you not attempt that same mistake and again. So just I followed, as far as concerned with the CSET, I followed civil step channel for the quant as well as reasoning. You can follow any of the other, there are so many. But don't look after so many videos, focus on main topics like number system, about 5 to 10 questions we can expect, or at least 5 questions we can accept that they will come surely in the 80 questions. And in that also, you don't have to attempt 80, you need only 27 net. So just focus on the main aspects, on the main subjects. You will be able to clear the exam. You just have to be more stable while attempting the question paper, because it's the time that 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. at the time of examination for CSAT, and it happens in the hot, means the temperature is very hot on that time, so we can't actually bit more focused on that paper. We sometimes derail from the subject, and treat every question in its individuality. Every question carries 2.5 marks in CSAT, and every question in GS carries 2 marks. If you are not able to solve one question, leave it there, attempt the second. If you are not able to solve that also, leave it alone, attempt the next question. So this should be a strategy. Even if you are not able to attempt 8 to 10 questions at a streak, don't be panic, stay focused. You just need 45 and 27 in that one. Whenever you are sure that yes, I have did well about 50 questions, and then in the 35 questions, then you can go for the guess also for about maybe we can make our attempt score about in the GS about 70s to 80s or maybe 80 plus, and in the CSAT around 45 plus. We can, if we can attempt this one, then we can be obvious that yes, we will be able to clear prelim this time. So that's it.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you, sir, for guiding us regarding prelims. So another very specific question which the students ask is when they prepare the number of test series, the number of tests they need to attend. Because we see that once the students fail, then they will go for 100 tests, 150 tests. Still we are not able to clear. So is it what was your strategy, and how much test students should attend?
For number of tests, my personal advice to you that select test for one coaching institute. What I seen, so many students collect from market, from different source, and 2, 3 and 4 coaching institutes test paper. So you should focus a test paper from one coaching institute, and my personal advice, you select Vision IAS. Because the test papers philosophy behind the Vision IAS, and when you solve that questions, the type of the question also asked in UPSC, and the question asked in Vision IAS test paper, that the philosophy is like same, and your thinking process also same during both of the papers. So only if some of your friends says that you select that one, I am solving that coaching institute's test paper, and last year asked so many questions from the test papers from that coaching institute. So don't divert. Vision IAS very nice. Vision IAS so test papers very nice. So select that one, and again 30 to 40 question paper enough to solve for prelims. Around 35 paper for that year, for that current year, if you want to appear in 2013 or 2022, then they started that their test papers right now, and you solve all the 35 papers. And if you feel that I am very low and you are scoring very low, in that papers. So in which area you felt sometime weak, so write down the topics. In which topic you are feeling weak, write down and make the notes. And again revise that test papers, 35 test papers. Solving many different test papers from different coaching institutes is not a good thing. You solve single test paper, single coaching test paper again and again and multiple times. And the main philosophy behind that solving the test paper, that in particular in UPSC exam, you can make your thinking process same like in test papers you solved already in vision. So it just make you feel more comfortable during your examination. So the philosophy behind the solving the more number of test paper around 30 to 35 and 40 is not like that you see number of questions same in UPSC. The main philosophy is time management, pressure handle, and thinking of process. So you solve single, and my personal advice for CSET 2013 to 2021 question paper solved, and in UPSC also. From 2000 in GS paper you solve 2013 to 2021 question papers, all the question papers, and in particular schedule time, in particular UPSC schedule time, you solve all the papers with same efficiency, with same energy, and after that analyze that papers, that what type question asked in UPSC in last years, in previous years, and what type my thinking process, how I wrong that question in this particular question, what my thinking behind this particular question. So this analysis power you make more strong, and they able to solve that that particular paper in that year you are appearing that particular year. That help a lot.
Yes, Rahul. Sir, like right now in these years, we are having one buzz in the YouTube that's telling elimination technique. Once they want to eliminate the options using those tricks. And does it work, or how do we need to utilize them in prelims?
Yes. I seen that year paper, means 2022 paper, but I not analyzed that paper, but student and aspirants said that this particular year UPSC eliminate the elimination technique. So UPSC also analyzed so many times, UPSC collect so many papers from market. He also analyzed the videos, what type videos going through YouTube, and the philosophy and the spirit of UPSC behind that he want to make a level playing field for all the students. Maybe he from rural background, from remote areas, someone from the urban areas. So he analyzed the papers, the trends going on through YouTube. So he analyzed that elimination techniques, these techniques, and going on through YouTube, and some specialists also in elimination technique, they especially masters in elimination technique. So this year they eliminated that technique. So if you want to clear the UPSC exam, you should focus on that topic. The UPSC wants to clarity on a particular topic. So you should read that topic, make the notes, and if you feel some doubts in particular topic, you ask, you can see the video, you can read the blogs on different websites and make the notes and just clear that topic. Because without clarity, you can't solve that questions, and without clarity, you can't be a good administrator. If you like a confusion type person and doubtable person, then how can you take decisions, good decisions in administration and in challenging tasks? Because in ground level you feel many times so many challenges, and no one, because you are holding that supreme authority and you are looking here and there for taking the decisions. So you should be clear at your mind level. So the philosophy of the UPSC in every task, in every level of the examination is clarity of the topic, analysis power. Sometimes if you not aware the topic, you have the right kind of guess work, and so these also works during the exam, isn't it? So what was the question?
Regarding like elimination techniques and other things, how people use.
So elimination technique will work only when you have some knowledge about the topic, means concrete knowledge. If they are asking particular question and they given 5 points, if you know about 2 points, and then you can also solve by the elimination technique. But if you are aware about only single point, if you are aware about 2 points, then it's quite difficult to solve that particular question. So your first priority should be clear that particular topic with clarity and with more information, so you can easily solve that particular question in examination.
Rahul, do you want to add something to it?
See, UPSC will give you surprises every time. This year eliminated the elimination technique. Last year I did some sports question and some more unpredictable questions. Our plain and simple task is to firstly to identify that surprise element. If we talk about this year's prelims paper, if we eliminate those 1 pair right, 2 pair right, 3 pair right, only 4 pair rights. If we count the number of questions, they are about 8 in number. Then we are left with about 92 questions. Still, we have a lot of window, a lot of scope to attempt about 80 questions. So just identify those surprise elements. Then, if you are not able to attempt those questions, just leave them at their case, leave them at their situation. Attempt from the remaining one, and you will be able to attempt the required number of questions in the required amount of time. That's it.
Thank you, Rahul. So, like the important thing which when I try to summarize, as I have also cleared 2 times prelims. So the thing is, it is one thing common that please analyze the previous year question very well and go through the syllabus and the analysis of the past at least 10 years for both GS1 and GS2. The other thing which is very common is that solve like minimum number of test series, so that it is not like one thing is for knowledge, but the major thing is the thinking process. Because the questions, like if you see this year, you will feel like maybe not more than 20 questions clearly someone will know. But because of your background knowledge and analysis and thinking strategy, as sir suggested, when you see the question, you should be able to think, and you should think from different angles at a time. So these things will be one of the most important strategy which are in common. So let us now move to the main section. The question, like first we will start with the strategy for essay. Rahul has done very well this year. He has scored around, I think, 130 in essay. Rahul, can you please throw some light about how to prepare for essay? Because what we have seen is like agriculture students, they score comparatively less in essay, though we took too good in optional and all. So please throw some light on it.
essay, I scored well because of the just one factor that I wrote a lot of essays. Means I wrote a lot of essays. I just can't remember that how many essays. I was writing essays from last 2 years, and on a continuous basis. Whenever I just talked about when I was in the dice that whenever I was failed in prelims, I just directly shifted to the essay and main strategy. So from that point of time and until that time, I wrote maybe around more than around 50 essays. I just covered a lot many topics. Just you guys can do one thing, that just take the previous year questions, just identify the themes that on which the topics are being asked, and mostly from the last few years that there is a change in the pattern, that about some philosophical essays and some abstract kind of topics are being asked in the essay exams. So write down the essays, get it peer reviewed. If you don't have any colleague or any friend for the checking of that essay paper, you may take any test series also. And by my personal advice, I took test series of Programme IS. That is good also. That is good. And some prime IFS IES is also there. So you can take test series of that coaching institute also, just for the checking of the essay paper. Then what happens that in our essay, the shape of our essay should be the spindle shape. It should be start from the point 0. Then when the introduction part is being written, we should finish our introduction with the leaf that yes, somehow our introduction should look like this, that it starts from here, and then I will mention around these many dimensions in my body. So just we have to mention that these and these dimensions I am gonna discuss in my body of the essay. When it comes to the body part of essay, it basically needs around 7 to 8 pages, and or maybe around 8. Essay basically covers around 10 to 12 pages. So around we can say that around one page will first page will go in introduction, and then it will start for the body. Our body should be as wide as possible. Just mention and discuss the varied themes, varied dimensions. You can refer on Anudip Durushetty notes for the essay. He has a good command. He had a good command on the essay. He has mentioned a few topics, and he has just mentioned about the structures of on a few essay topics. He had written some quotes also for different topics also. So the PDF is freely available. You can write down just Anudip Durushetty essay notes. You will get PDF, and then you can go through those. And then there are many topics, and for the philosophical essays as well, we have to dissect the essay into the many subsections. Those subsections can be some socio-economic, political. These three can be there. Then if you want to more subsections, then legal and administrative we can add. And depending upon the topic, we can also divide our essay into the individual level, then at the societal level, then at the national level, and then at the international level. So we have to look for that what kind of essay it is and what it demands from us. We have to then look that yes, this kind of essay is there. I have to dissect my essays into this and these subheadings. You can use some catchy phrases also, and you can take that from Google. I did not to shed much light upon this because of the time shortage as well. So, and regarding when it comes to the last part, the conclusion part, the same, that we should leave our conclusion with a positive note, and with an again this like of note, so that it looks like an whole spindle shaped essay, and then it will be look that it is an consolidated and a well formed essay. When we some have doubts also that whether our language should be whether our language should be some more embellishments or we should use some words that are that looks more from the dictionary. So just let me clarify that you need a plain and simple language. The language should be that it is easily understandable by a common English learner and by a common Englishman, so that the flow of the essay is also important in this, as far as besides concerned with the language. The flow of essay is also more important. We have to, when it comes to the shifting from the one paragraph to the next paragraph, we have to draw some hint that yes, in next paragraph I will discuss this. Just a small hint, maybe 1 or 2 words, that yes, in the next paragraph, from this point I will start. So with this, with that one, we can use some conjunctions, we can use some prepositions, and there is we can use some type of words which are also uploaded in the Google. So we can also take, and if you don't have, I have that screenshot also. I will share with you personally whenever we'll meet. So this much essay was, the simple thing is that just write, then analyze where you lack, then just again rectify that mistake and again write. So this is how will you improve in your essay writing.
So with us we have Dr. Bhupendra Singh, head of the division, just now arrived. On behalf of all students, I welcome Dr. Bhupendra Singh sir, head of the division, environment. I request DK Gines to mute.
Yes sir, me sir.
Please.
ये मैं ले रहा हूँ और आएगा तो गिव मी टू बोथ ऑफ देम, तो मैं नहीं लेता
We sincerely thank Dr. Bhupendra Singh sir for providing this auditorium. Thank you sir.
It's not mine.
But you, sir, you felicitate, you generosity to help us is acknowledged, sir. Thank you, sir.
Give me 1 minute. Can I speak for them? Huh? If you permit. Huh?
Please,
No, you are the host now. Huh? So, thank you. Guys, धन्यवाद आप सभी का. I can see many faces from the environment science also. Pranam. Divya is there. Okay. सबसे पहले तो आप सभी लोग जो आज यहाँ इकट्ठे हुए हैं, सभी का खैर मकदम, और मौका इतना अच्छा दिया है हमें, हमारे 2 छोटे भाई प्रहलाद और राहुल. मेरे दिमाग में जब मैं इसकी बातें सुन रहा हूँ कि ऐसे कैसे लिखना है, the way he is describing, you know, from the start to finish, मेरे दिमाग में सिर्फ एक ही चीज चल रही है. मेरे दिमाग में चल रहा है कि it is nothing but, हिंदी में बोलो तो मेहनत, मेहनत और मेहनत. इंग्लिश में बोलो hard work and more hard work. There is nothing, you know, when he says that he could write it well, an essay, he could write it very well. He might have, you know, scribbled, might have made a summary, might have made a jest of about 100 essays. We don't see, we see the winner, but we don't see the hard work that goes behind him. That is very, very important. And the second thought which came to me, my mind was that I wanted to know in which year of their PhD program they are, and whether they will be completing their PhDs or not. This is the second question. Okay. The third thing I wanted to say to each one of you, take your task very, very seriously. He's talked about essay. The way he described, I cannot even describe it so well. It was crystal clear from the beginning to the end From the introduction to the conclusion, even he did not miss the idioms, prepositions and whatnot. You can add in that to make it better. I was wondering, in IERI, we give you a lot of opportunities to improve, but whether you take them seriously or not. We have assignments. What is an assignment? Assignment is nothing but an essay. But how many of you, truthfully, would raise your hands and tell me that whether any one of you really puts their, efforts and hard work in making it a note which is good for publication in it? Why we cannot publish it if you have done? Most of the people, they cut and paste. And then when you check the plagiarism, it is 70%, 80%, 90%. Where we can go with that? Is it right, Rahul? And Prahlad, आप लोग देखो कि अगर 80% प्लेजरिज्म क्यों है? क्या इसमें मेहनत नहीं कर सकते? सिर्फ आईएएस बनने के लिए मेहनत करनी है और हमारे पास अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं है? तुमने प्रैक्टिकली सोचो. They have become, out of 4 lakhs people, we have 2 from IRI. Next year again we may become 5, we may become 10. But how many of you are sitting in this room? आप लोग तो मुझे 50 से ज्यादा नजर आ रहे हैं. तो 50 में से हम कितना मैक्सिमम बढ़ सकते हैं अगले साल? 10. तो बाकी कहाँ जाएंगे? क्या बाकी के लिए अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं है? We spoke about IFS. There are lots of this. From this year onwards, we are having this campus selection at IERI. Private companies are coming, and they also look for such good habits, such good practices, such good culture, values in you. कुछ लोगों को मेरी बात अच्छी नहीं लगेगी बेटा, बट पॉइंट ये है कि IRI इस, आप लोग कितने लोग IRI, सभी IRI से हैं या बाहर से भी हैं? IRI से हैं. तो जब सभी लोग आप IRI से हो तो आप सभी जानते हो मेहनत की कोई सीमा नहीं है. There is no end to hard work. And I feel people who know me, they also know that I am the one who appreciates even any good thing they do, howsoever small it may be, I will appreciate. And appreciation is because I value you. And you must value your work. इतना अच्छा मौका है आपको. इन्होंने आगे बढ़ करके 104 रैंक, 359 रैंक. I was wondering 104 मिलते यानी. तो मेरा एक और स्टूडेंट था चंद्रशेखर. He is झारखंड में अभी वो क्या होता है तुम बताओ, इसमें कहाँ लगते हैं? SDM लगते हैं, क्या लगते हैं? वो 2014 या 15 में he joined PhD with me, and then he got that, and then he left after 1.5 years. I am happy that he left. Listen, PhD is not important, let me tell you truthfully. What is important is that you must rise, you must become a better human being. And you must value the hard work, value your time. पैसा तो मम्मी पापा का है, वो छोड़ दो. अच्छे बच्चे बन करके सब लोग, you've got a prestigious seat as a research scholar in IERI, value it. And इनकी बात सिर्फ सुन करके हमें इधर से सुननी, इधर से नहीं निकाल देनी. काफी लोग, हम लोग ऐसे भी हैं. प्यारी बेटी मेरी बैठी पीछे, आप इसे काफी लोग मुझे जानते हैं, जो नहीं जानते वो आज जान जाओगे. I really feel very privileged, GK. Thank you very much for calling me and giving me an opportunity to be a part of this gathering, and particularly to be inspired. It is not, I am not old. If somebody was telling, that are you, you are 80 years old. No, I am 16 with 64 years of experience. So I am not 80, I am not 60. I still have desire to learn, and the way he described I tell you, I'm sitting there, I may be a principal scientist, I may be head of the division, but I'm also learning when he is speaking. I also want to improve. We all are from humble backgrounds, but we all have desire and we all can excel, we can work hard to achieve the highest level. And this is what we must all do to make us, ourselves, our teachers and our families proud. Thank you very much, Rahul and Prahlad, both of you, for giving me an opportunity. Thank you.